Hello, 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 and welcome, welcome, welcome. You are here. Well, if you're watching this video, then that means you are here on my channel, Truth Seekers. Now, either you're here because you're just being nosy, you want to see what am I talking about, or you are actually here because you genuinely want to know. You are a genuine truth seeker. Now, I myself am no expert. I just want to share with you what I have learned throughout the time of my research and studies, okay? Because I research a lot. I'm in my kitchen right now and I have papers all throughout my house, stacks and stacks of papers of all kind of things that I study. This right here is about the Piso family. Okay, the Piso family, the authors of the New Testament. Okay, that is just how deep I go into my studies. Okay, especially when it comes to the religion part. Now, I'm going to do my best to try and not offend anyone on this channel. Okay, because when it comes to one's way of living and one's way of, one's perception of life, um, especially their God, one's perception of your God, you know, those are very touchy topics. I really don't want to get too deep into it. And well, listen, let me paraphrase that. I will get deep into it, okay? But I want to first say that whatever I bring up, whatever I discuss, it is not intended to hurt anyone, okay? It is not intended to make anyone feel as though, they're stupid or, anything like that. My sole purpose is to inform my people with as much information as I can, okay? The liberation of black people, the liberation of black people, it cannot take forward, cannot take place without the truth. So that is why I titled and named this channel Truth Seekers. Okay, because on this channel I will be coming up with facts, documentation, okay, hardcore documentation. You see, oh man, this is a whole book here, and I've got several more like that all throughout this house. Okay, because I'm constantly reading, constantly researching, as I said. And as I said, one cannot begin to truly liberate themselves without full knowledge of, first, I believe, the origin of whatever it is you believe in. The origin of where that comes from. The root, where did it come from? Okay? Who put it there? Who made it so? Who made it that way? I am one of facts. I am one of facts, documentation, doctrines. Okay? Put it in front of me. I want to be able to go find it, pull it up, research it on my computer, through encyclopedia, whatever choice of information I'm using. Okay, I want to be able to find out that this is true. If I cannot trace its origin, and come to a point where I can say that's where it came from, then as far as I'm concerned, it never existed. It's not real, or it has not been discovered yet. I cannot say it did not exist. I cannot say it has not been. I cannot say it's not real. But what I can say is it has not been discovered yet. So as of now, today, in this year of 2016, as we know it to be, because that's a whole nother story within itself, all right? If you know anything about how years and all of that works, then you know that It's not really 2016 either. But because that would mean that the earth has only been in existence for 2016 years. That is why I say that, okay? Surely you must know. Even if you don't know anything about history, surely you must know that this world, people, have been here for way more than 2016 years, okay? Evidence, historical evidence, archaeologists prove that to us daily, that we have been here for way more than 2016 years. But with that, I will not go on as of yet. Maybe somewhere down the line on this channel, I will come back to that and we'll discuss that with you. For those of you that don't understand how that all works, I will sit down, gather all information that I can find, and bring it to you. That is what this channel is about. Bringing the information. Because you see, one thing that I don't like is this thing about black people. Knowledge is free, but information costs. That is an old school saying amongst black people and probably different cultures, race of people as well. I don't know. I'm speaking as far as my brothers and my sisters, black people. And I think that it's really messed up that we think like that. You see, that shows me that our thinking system is really, really, really screwed up as far as how we think how we are with one another. Like, I can have this knowledge, all of this knowledge, I could have it here. All of these pages and pages and pages of knowledge, that I could have this all stored in my mind, in my brain, but I will not share it with you unless you pay me a wager. Now, where do we get thinking like that? Okay? Because, in ancient time of Africa, Egypt, the Nile Valley, all right, that was not our way. What I knew, I shared with my people. Okay, elders would have all the youth of that village or community gather around them, and they would sit them down. They would teach them of all the many things that they have learned throughout their lives. You see, one of the biggest problems with us as black people is we're not doing that enough. I'm not going to say we're not doing that anymore, because there are some of us out here that are doing that and have dedicated their lives way far longer than I have even been researching, okay, or reading and studying about this, okay? So, yes, I have to acknowledge that, and I do. But I will say that there are too many of us out here that we're not doing that. We're not sharing. We're keeping it a secret, See, all of these things go back to, things like meritorious manumission. That is the Act of 1710, where it had clause in it, such as if you snitch on a nigger, black person, whom you have found out is trying to run away, okay, or start an uprising, then you will be awarded your freedom. Other clauses such as if you, help catch a runaway nigger, you will be awarded your freedom. Clauses such as if you invent something that a white man, can gain profit from and wealth, you will be awarded freedom. See, all of these things, these laws that were implemented and put into place just to keep us at bay, just to keep us constantly at each other's throats, constantly battling with each other, and now we have, we're manifesting those things, should I say. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. I mean, it breaks my heart, I'm the kind of person where how can I sit around and never be bothered by what I see going on within my black community? You know, it's so sad, it's so disturbing to me. And so, that's why one of the main reasons why I decided to sit and create this channel, okay? To help and try and help to break the chains that are wrapped around the minds of so many of my brothers and my sisters, black people. Okay, and now it is trickling down to the youth. The youth, one of my biggest concerns, because they're lost. Let's just say it. They're lost. They're fucked up. And it's sad, okay? Excuse my French. I don't mean any disrespect. 21. But, I mean, these kids, these young people, they are lost. They are lost. And it's not very many of us that are trying to do anything to get them back on track. So, I want to try to do that if I can. And for my brothers and sisters that are of my age and, older and a little younger, some of us, we need to get back on track too. We need to get back on track. So let me go, back to what I was saying. This whole, knowledge course, knowledge is free, information course. Sorry, I keep getting that twisted. But information, knowledge is free, information course. That whole thing right there, it's wrong. It's wrong. This is an example of how they have messed up our minds. They have messed up our minds, okay? I remember a time when I used to be a vendor when I still lived in New York. I'm from New York. I don't live in New York at the time, okay? I currently live in Delaware. I remember a time when I was first trying to get the information about where to go so that I could buy merchandise, so that I could start my own business and sell my own merchandise. Hats, perfume, socks, shoes, clothes, whatever. Okay, yada yada, jewelry. And everyone I would go to that had storefronts and ask them, where can I go to get merchandise? They would mostly say to me, oh, go down there, go down there, go down to 28th Street, go over there. And that's all they would say. They would not tell me exactly where to go. So I would say, well, after a while, I was like, well, what is it, a secret? Nobody wants to let me know where to go and buy merchandise so that I can try to do what you're doing. Start my own little business for, selling merchandise for profit. No one wanted to tell me. And then I had to start thinking and wondering and saying to myself, well, you know what? It's messed up, but that's how we are. And that's so sad. When your last thought, when another brother or sister, another black person acts like that towards you, your last thought is always, see, black people. That's how we are, man. That's sad. That's sad that that's how we are. Because my thinking was this. I'm not setting up where you are. My storefront won't be nowhere near you. My business won't be near you. Okay? I'm planning on doing my business way off from where you're at. But because you think that I may too gain some wealth, okay, or whatever, you don't want to share with me what you know. See, knowledge is free, information costs. You understand? Not in my book, okay? In my book, whatever tools I can give you, my people, my brothers and sisters, to help liberate your minds, to help break the chains from around your minds, because the enslavement is no longer from shackles around our wrists, from shackles around our necks, from shackles around our feet. It is in our mind now. The shackles have been taken off of our necks and our wrists and put around our minds. That is where I want to help you. That is where I want to try and break those chains from around your mind, from in your mind. Because as long as you are enslaved in your mind, you are in shackles in your mind, you will continue to do what you are doing. Not even realizing the way you are moving is causing you more harm than good. Because you're now passing it on to your children. your godchildren, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, the young people around you that you interact with daily, weekly, whatever. Okay? So it's got to stop. And I have to do my part. I have to. As a black woman, I have to do my part. I can't sit back and just continue to hide behind the shade, the curtain, and, continue to say, oh, look at them out there, boy, they messed up. I can't continue to do that. I can't continue to sit back and, run in the house and, close the door and just look away, turn the other cheek, look the other way. I can't continue to do that because it's in my backyard. See, it used to be a time where everybody was running around saying, oh, well, it ain't in my backyard, I'm okay. It's in your backyard right now. Okay? Cops, they're pulling up on brothers and sisters, younger and older than me at any given time, anywhere they want to, and Billy Club upside the head, murdering our young brothers and sisters anytime they want to, anywhere they want to. So it is in your backyard now. So my question is, when will it be close enough to home for you, my brothers and my sisters, to take note that this is a matter of liberation, a matter of, this is time to stand up. If you have never stood up for anything in your life, now is the time for you to stand up. Voice your opinion. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself be heard. Because this did not start today. It did not start today. This is something that has been going on for years and years and centuries. Okay? This is something that has been in the making. Billions and billions of dollars have been spent on this so-called well-kept secret as to who we are as a black people, Africans, because we are of African descent. If you are black, I am African. You are African. I hear a lot of black people, they run around and I ain't no African. No one wants to be associated with Africa. Like it's ugly. Like it's an ugly place. Because the only part of Africa that most of us get to see is the ugly part. Not realizing that Africa has many beautiful landscape, okay, and used to be the center of civilization. All the riches, okay, the resource were in Mother Africa, okay? But you see, millions and billions of dollars have been spent to ensure the fact that you don't know that I don't know that we don't know who we are or where we come from or how we got here in the first place. Okay, I'm not talking about the slave ships. I'm not talking about that right now. Right now, I'm talking about how we got here, where we are, how messed up we are as a people, as a black community. Okay, how did we wind up here? How did we go from kings and queens that didn't always do great things? No, they did not. And we will discuss many of those things as this channel continues. And I continue to put videos up. I will discuss many of those things, sometimes in the form of a documentary I will find, and I'll just put it up here for you. Or sometimes I'll be up here talking to you like I'm doing right now. So, you see, my thing is this, like I said, how we need to know, how do we get all messed up like this? How do we get all discombobulated? Well, first I'm going to play something for you that may help you kind of get an idea of how it all started. All right.
Cardinal Principles for Making a Negro. For fear that our future generations may not understand the principles of breaking both of the beasts together, the nigger and the horse, we understand that short-range planning economics results in periodic economic chaos, so that to avoid turmoil in the economy, it requires us to have breadth and depth in long-range comprehensive planning, articulating both skill-sharp perceptions. We lay down the following principles for long-range comprehensive economic planning. 1. Both horse and niggers is no good to the economy in the wild or natural state. 2. Both must be broken and tied together for orderly production. 3. For orderly future, special and particular attention must be paid to the female and the youngest offspring. 4. Both must be crossbred to produce a variety and a division of labor. 5. Both must be taught to respond to you in a peculiar new language. 6. Psychological and physical instruction of containment must be created for both. We hold the 6 cardinal principles as truth to be self-evident, based upon the following discourse concerning the economics of breaking and tying the horse and the nigger together, all inclusive of the 6 principles laid down about. Accordingly, both a wild horse and a wild or natural nigger are dangerous, even if captured, for they will have the tendency to seek their customary freedom, and in doing so might kill you in your sleep.
Okay, I hope you was able to hear that. That is from The Making of a Slave, Willie Lynch Letters. If you have never heard of, I don't even think you can see that because my screen, the glare from my screen. Let's try this. Can you see it now? Nope, still can't see it. Well, anyway, you see the hands and the cuffs right there. Well, that is from The Making of a Slave, Willie Lynch. That is from the Willie Lynch Letters, okay? This is the kind of things that my library on Audible is filled up with. Because as I told you, my mind never stops. I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly researching. If it's not a documentary, a book that I'm reading, something like that I'm listening to, my mind never stops. I'm not obsessed. I just feel as though it is important for me to know the truth of, like I said, where and how did this all start? See, now, if you listen to that, what did you gather from that? What I gather from that is, you see how they have put much emphasis on enslaving us, even comparing us to a wild horse, because that's all we were to them, wild animals. We weren't even considered human beings to them, and so many of them don't consider us to be human beings now. So sad. It's just so sad. But you see, things like that, you got to take that up with God, because everything I do is through God. Don't nothing move in my life without God. All right, so but that was just something for me to let you listen to and let you see that this is something that was this right there. Let's see, Willie Lynch. Don't quote me on this date. I'm speaking freely off the top of my head. In 1621, a group of Negroes came to Jamestown, Virginia. Indentured servants is what they were called at the time. That is before slavery, when we used to get paid a small wager. That is when we used to actually fraternize with white people before slavery just erupted and everybody just went crazy. Europeans, white people. Okay, but around 1621, somewhere around, I want to say 1621, 1641, somewhere between there, a man named Willie Lynch, no, matter of fact, was it around 1705? A man named Willie Lynch came to Virginia to teach these slave owners how to, keep their slaves in control. And he presented them with what is known now as the Willie Lynch Letters, because he was just that, a slave trainer from Jamaica. He was a slave trainer. Okay, the tortures and all that chains around your neck, all kind of sick stuff on your face, and how to make Negroes fear you in such a way that they will never, ever do anything to displease you. For fear that, number one, it would not be pleasing with God. God was their number one tool in helping them to enslave us. Okay? Teaching us, putting the young against the old. Teach them how to not listen to the elders. Oh, you old, you don't know nothing. And we're doing it. We're doing the youth are doing it now. Okay? The dark against the light skin. Okay? The house Negro against the field Negro. Nappy head against curly head. How mixed breeding and all this stuff. Yeah, he was sick. He was really sick. Okay, twisted and sadistic. But that comes from his letters, his speech. So this is all real, what I'm going to be presenting you with. I'm not going to be presenting you with anything that's wrong. Of course, that was not Willie Lynch speaking. That is a narrator, because this is audible. So that is a narrator reading it from the book. But if you look Willie Lynch up, the Willie Lynch letters up online, you will find that exact script paragraph from the book, the letters. Okay, I have copies of it in my back office. Okay, back room, back office, whatever. So anyway, this is just an introduction, my brothers and my sisters. Here right now, I'm not going to get too detailed into anything. However, my next video, which will probably be tomorrow, that is when I will begin with my, how you want to say, presentation. That is when I will begin. My next video is when I will begin. So this was just an introduction, a way for me to just say hi, introduce myself. Okay, excuse me. Yeah, I didn't do that, did I? Okay, well, before I leave, let me just say, my name is Keisha Neal. A lot of my friends call me Africa. That was a given name to me going back to since I was like 21, 22. Why my friends gave me that name? Because I've always been quite righteous, if you will. I'm always preaching and teaching about Africa, Black history, Black people. That's something that's been with me for many, many years. And now in my older years, I'm 45 now, I want to continue and further my studies. This is why I'm going back to school to finish out my degree and to hopefully one day become a professor. That's what I look forward to in the near future. Okay, once I get my degree is what I'm looking forward to doing, so that I can go out and teach it, lectures and all that. But for now, I'm starting like this. So I hope that you will tune in and that you will partake in the conversations. If there's a conversation going on about a video, anything I discuss in a video, if anyone knows anything that I, different from what I mentioned on this on the videos, please feel free, comment. Hey, that's knowledge for me. I could be wrong too. I'm only going to be presenting to you what I have read and what I have learned from the information I have been able to gather throughout the years, throughout time. Okay? Some of which I've been hearing on and off throughout my whole life. All right? So this will not be stuff that, I just learned it, I just read it yesterday, and now I think I'm an expert about it. No, this is something that I've been working on for many, many years. These are things that I've been researching for many, many years. Okay? So, with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I hope that you will tune in. I hope that you will join me and, be a member of this channel. I hope that you will like and follow this channel and pass it on. I hope, So, I will see you on the next video. I wish you many, many blessings to your family. You and your family, should I say. Many, many blessings. Peace be unto you. Ashe.